Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so we're gonna. I just got done drawing some cards. So let's talk about. So I mentioned a little bit yesterday about how the masculine energies are kind of falling off on the planet, and that's has a lot to do with the condition of their Y chromosome, which is shriveled to the point of unidentifiable at this point. So again, don't harp on them. They're literally going through a biological breakdown. So rather than harp and yell and scream and whatever else, because they literally... So stop expecting, stop trusting, stop whatevering the masculine to step up and do anything. Just... Okay? Stop wasting energy yelling at them. If you can't tolerate it, divide. Get out of there. Get yourself to safety, whatever the hell it is. You know, that goes for everybody, not just females or feminine. And again, there's some men out there with more feminine energy than masculine. It's just on a biological level. The Y chromosome is like this, like the white coats can't tell you what it is if you don't tell them where you got it from in the body. So it's pretty dire. So we're still in trying to figure out how that affects. I mean, we are seeing it. Femicide is a real thing, even though it's been that way for 2,000 years. But I suspect that the Y chromosome has probably been in trouble since they decided to turn their backs, betray whatever it is, the feminine energy on the planet. I think, you know, there's energy repercussions for every choice we make, and we just have been completely programmed into staying dull and numb to them. That being said, how can we counteract? How can we solve this problem? And if you are masculine, you can try this. Again, not demanding, not requiring, not getting cranky about it, but we do need to start protecting each other, because we just had a massive let go of things, especially in the US. I'm not sure globally. I know the UK is having a really hard time with femicide right now. Really hard time. So, and I know it's 137 deaths a day by male family members or significant others in the US currently, or it was last year anyway. So when we're out and about, when we have our loved ones, when we know our friends are going out for the day, or our, you know, family members are going out for the day, it doesn't matter if they're male or female. It's not just words or intent. You put that physical shield around them. You imagine them being encompassed in some white light and put that ball of protection around them. And I mean, you know, if your family member's overseas or they're states away or whatever it is, you can still do that from long distance. They don't have to have the physical contact. You can still do that. And I highly encourage you to do so. So keeping that energetic field intact is crucial, and teach them how to do it. Teach them how to do it for themselves. And, you know, if the more people you can have as an energetic field around you, the better off you're going to be when you're out and about and predators are around. Here's the really difficult part that we're not going to really want to look at so much. You're not going to like it. Okay, so if somebody asks you, can I pray for you? Say no. Because where there's prey, there's predator. This is going to be a huge, huge issue. Especially in the spiritual community where everybody's like, pray. And it's like, okay. So now we have to kind of start getting to the point where if you're in a spiritual community and you're still using Abrahamic logos, now you're sus. You have to proceed with caution. If they are using any sort of Abrahamic messaging, labeling, you have to proceed with caution. Because now, if you can't understand that words have power and you're doing all this other energetic investigation and you can't, if you don't know that this matters, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. If you're trying to be conscious, move things forward in your life, and energy work is being had and done in your life, and you are still not up to par with the logos that you're using. Okay, that's a huge red flag. You need to be very, very diligent, very, very careful. If someone, like if you're watching a YouTube channel or you're watching the boob tube or listening to a podcast or whatever it is, music, and they are saying something that really does not, it's like, ooh, that doesn't feel good. Turn that music off. No matter how much you like the artist or the song, just put that in the garbage. Put it in the garbage, because that's a form of energy harvesting. When there's prey, there has to be a predator. Ingrain that into your system. So this is okay. This has nothing to do with praying. This has nothing to do with praying. They just stole it from previous practices. This is you keeping your energy to yourself. Okay, this is you connecting back. Okay, and then if you go like this, you're building more energy. Okay, and then you can start to do your own body work. Okay. We are in and of ourselves, like the earth, electromagnetic fields ourselves. This is why they like energy harvesting. This is why prey predator. Okay, they don't necessarily have to take our physicalness, they can just harvest the energy. So we are outputting and inputting constantly. Okay, 6 feet, motherfucker. Okay, remember that? Yeah. That's our information field. So when we brush up against somebody else's information field, we don't need words. We don't need logos. Our energy just touched. 6 feet, motherfucker. Okay, I'll let you do with that what you want to. You can scream and holler and yell and hoot and whatever the hell else it is, but we have measurements. We already have measurements. So, and those of us who came here with whatever the hell we came here with already knew this. We already knew this. We don't need science to pluck us apart and say, hey, how is this working? You're never gonna figure it out. That's the whole fucking purpose, is no matter how much they torture, dissect, mutilate, siphon, parasite, whatever the hell it is, they're never gonna understand it. And that pisses them off royally, so they feel like they are entitled to things that they themselves could just cultivate, but they refuse to do the work. Or they have done so many things that they have to sift through, okay? And for, how do you put it? Learn self-acceptance, basically. Just be like, yeah, I didn't know any better and I did that stupid thing and I need to let go of that. I did some stupid shit and I need to let go of that. So they themselves are entrapped in something horrific of their own making. If they feel they need to feed off other people, they're already in something that's pretty dire, and they're making it look pretty. The celebs and politicians, whatever else, make it look really pretty, make it look good. I'm sure their food tastes delicious, all that other good gravy, but there's nothing that's fulfilling that. So that's why they need to feed on more. Okay. Keep the ball rolling in the little brain. Okay, so your electromagnetic field, 6 feet, motherfucker, okay, is your field. That is your aura. That is your divine essence, whatever the heck you want to call it. We all have it. Some of us just really shrink it down because when people recognize it, they do get greedy and ignorant and selfish and stupid. So they just shut it down and they keep it on the inside. Only when you're holding that much energy and you're holding it all the way inside your body, disease creates itself when it can't flow. Okay, so there's ways to protect that. You don't have to be a magician. You don't have to be a sage. This is not necessary. This is just a pattern of energy that exists naturally, and people who have spent the majority of their life stuffing it down or conning themselves basically into thinking they need to get it somewhere else, have, they might have it absolutely somewhere in existence, or somebody else might have just siphoned theirs, so now they need to go siphon somebody else's. However the, chain of command instructed, whatever it is, okay? So, and for those people, they would, it would take some work, but you can do it on yourself. This isn't hey, you have to go find a healer, you have to go find a this, that, and the other person. No, this is not the future. We are going to be able to do this for ourselves. This is not a hey, give me hundreds of thousands of dollars and then we'll see what happens. This is you know what, you're in charge of you, so take charge of you. So when we have the whatchamacallit going in and going out, when we breathe in, find the in the aura, because this is okay. So your breath is spirit, so spirit transmutes, transfers, transforms. Shh. Don't tell the Catholics, they're gonna get really mad. Okay, so the 6 feet is feeding your air supply, right? So that is a huge part of your energetic, vital life force energy. So you're breathing that in, breathing it out. So that is a form of alchemy right there. Okay, so for those of you who are like, I can't do that, you do it. You do it by default every single day. Your systems in your body are taking the toxins and going, this is shit, let's get it out. You are an alchemical being, period, the end. Stop letting everybody else have authority over you. No, if you recognize the nature, you recognize the truth, nobody has authority. You already have everything you need right here. Not here, but like in right there. That's where you have it. It's all yours. Okay. Listen here, lady. I like being poked and prodded and tortured for not getting any health. Okay, you can go do that. Bye-bye. So, when we're taking in what we can say to ourselves, ooh, I feel this weird thing in my body. Ugh. Breathe into it, flush it out. Okay? Now, granted, if you have a chronic issue that, like, oh my gosh, what is that thing that I've had for the last, 6 months, 6 years, whatever it is, that's not going to go away with breath work, because if it's been there that long, it probably took twice as long to get there. And if you've had something from birth, I have not delved into Akashic Records. You're going to have to find a different channel for that. That part I do not know. All I have is one little crystal that I was gifted. And I'm like, oh. So I can see it for myself when it's mine, but I can't read anybody else's. So I don't want to dictate your past life beliefs. That's not my job. So, but anyway, so breathe into it. Say thank you for visiting. Release with grace and gratitude. Because again, you have to remember that if they see you as a source, that makes you really powerful, doesn't it? Again, what are you going to do with it? A, you're going to protect it. B, you're going to have, this beautiful life force energy that you can create with. Okay. So rather than going, go, ooh, that's nice. Let me redirect that energy, alchemize it. Thank you for visiting. Bye-bye. So, and that, it really is that easy. They don't want you to believe it, that that's easy, but it is that easy. So, do not accept anyone praying for you. When what's his face was on the cross, he said the words, "Forgive them, they know not what they do." He wasn't talking about the men who put him up there. When you write a fairy tale story in a mythology or whatever, and that's all it is, it's just mythology. It's, people trying to translate how things actually work. And the only reason why it's stuck is because it has grains of truth in it. So then, there's this truth over here. The whole thing must be true. The whole thing must be accurate. The whole thing is a spell book. And the way they get you hooked is putting little teeny tiny kernels of truth in it, the size of mustard seeds, and then coating it like a bare Monsanto seed, calling it good for you, and expecting you to choke it down. So, and then scratching their heads when you get cancer. So, this whole pattern of accepting other people's positive energy needs to knock it off. Needs to not. When somebody says, "Can you please pray for me?" I said, I will send you love, healing, and, whatever else kind of vibration they need. But I do not partake and pray, because it's creating predators for that person that you're praying for. How disgusting is that? And then they're all like, "Oh, miracle healings through prayer." Miracle healings through prayer. How many people you think exists out there that know the truth and just pretend and say things like, "Yeah, I'll pray for you," when they're actually just going, "Okay, we need to get that predator off of that person." And they know exactly what they're doing with their energy, and everybody thinks it's through prayer. Yeah. All your single aunties know what the fuck is up, and are they going to tell you the truth? No, because they'll be chastised and thrown out of the tribe and left for dead. That's the grand scheme of manipulating people into thinking, if you don't worship the same Scarface Sky Daddy as me, you must work for some sort of horrible, disgusting, wretched, whatever it is. When in actuality, they are perpetuating the things that they're afraid most of. Which is why when you let fear take control of you, when you let fear in, it's already consumed you. It's a choice. It's fear or love. And they do not know love. If you're in a binding spell, it's really difficult to get there. And once you get even a glimpse of it, you're like, "Oh, I gotta get out of the binding spell before I can even touch that." So when you are clearing your field through your breath work, the deep breath in, breathe it into the space where you're feeling the tension and attack in your body or whatever the hell it is. And a lot of times it'll happen in the throat or the head. Now, solar flares are a thing, and one just went off. So if you're having a headache around whatever time I'm making this video, so check the solar flares before you're like, need to like go do some energy work. No, it's the sun sending you whatever it is. And sometimes you feel it in your gut, and if they are, how do I put this? If they're like more of like an intimate partner, like say, and it could be somebody from a long time ago that you haven't spoken to, haven't seen in decades, whatever the hell it is, right? If they are interested in your heart area and are resentful or jealous or even craving or longing, you'll feel the ache in your chest. Now, this isn't, oh, poor them. It's I need to get this out of my body because they're literally giving me their energy that I don't want. It doesn't belong to me. Just because they feel that way doesn't mean I have to take it into myself. So, out with the breath. Into whatever's in there, like a vine, and then flush it out. Okay? So, we don't need to be victims. It's not a requirement for existence. And a lot of people are addicted to victim mentality. A lot of people are addicted to woe is me. A lot of people are addicted to that. And there are people that are in dire circumstances and whatever else, and they didn't put themselves there. They didn't put themselves there. I don't like this like low vibe, high vibe crap. They didn't put themselves there. The entire community of people that are in this country put them there. So we're co-creators or we're nothing. Okay, right? But your job is to keep your creation device clean and clear of anything that's obstructing it. This is where things are going to get a little hairy, is because we're actually trying to create a better world. Not a new world, a better one. And so all these things are going to collapse, yada, yada, yada. And so this whole concept of two worlds is just another division. It's, oh, the low vibe and the high vibe. So when there's division, what comes on the, let's follow that all the way through. When there's division, there's a when we divide anything, it's them, us, them, whatever the hell it is, or dingus versus dingus, and it's not cohesive to creating any sort of functioning society. Because when you have entities that are opposing you, not working with you, like you can see it through like religion and science, even though there's the undercurrent there is exactly the same. Who can get the most body count and claim moral high ground or ethical high ground? So, and that's the low and high vibe community. Okay, we're trying to get off those patterns, and so now those patterns are trying to repeat themselves, and that's in the low vibe community isn't even aware they're low vibe. They're just out trying to live their lives. Anyway, so when we take back our power, it's going to feel really uncomfortable. Life might get uncomfortable. Things might get crunchy. Things might get dire. Things might get a little spooky. But remembering that, like, that's part of, the system that's set up right now. It's like kind of trying to glob onto you. Trying to be like, hey, you need to do this thing in order to exists here. You need to have all these things in your life. You need to be a slave to this and a master, or a slave to this because this is master over you. This is, so all these things are going to keep gnawing at you. Okay, and you're just gonna have to realize to float through it, breathe through it, do what you can. But those restrictions are going to create new pathways forward. And I can't stress enough right now, if you are feeling restricted, especially in this time with this Saturn, Neptune thingy thing. Mars is going to square in there somewhere on the 8th. And so Monday might feel uber crunchy. So I would take that day off work. I would just say, you know what, I'm going to spend some time with myself and really get reflective on how I want to live my life rather than, yeah. So just be mindful of that, because that's going to be a really crunchy day where it's going to like force the truth on us, and then we're going to get cranky about it, and then we're going to get upset. And, you know, despair has a real possibility of sinking in with those particular energies. So you're going to have to start moving forward gently with yourself. Really gently. Because you're going to want to, like, when you're not putting it out there, so it's got to come in here. So if you're doing the internal stuff and you're berating yourself and yada, 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 that despair is going to set in. So you need to set yourself on a really dedicated to peace and grace on Monday. Dedicated, committed to peace, grace, allowance, wholeness, acceptance, radical acceptance, and like powerful self-love. Powerful. Like getting into, okay, maybe I did fuck up. Maybe this is just the universe's way of showing me I have to do something different. I have to do it a different way. I have to, you know, go in a different direction. Whatever it is, stay curious, stay open, because the shutdown is just going to breed despair. The isolation is going to breed despair. Now, I'm not saying go out and talk to people, because you could be emotionally volatile. You're going to have to look at those placements in your chart to figure that out. So when things do set in, keep curiosity at the front. Keep curiosity at the front. That way, despair has to take a little bit of a back seat and be like, well, I guess I'm just going to hang back here then. So despair and pissed cookies are going to be in 2 little tins in the back of your seat, because you're going to go to grandma's house for... Why do we go to grandma's house? To grandmother's house we go... Anyway, however the fuck, you're going to get there, right? But grace and gratitude are going to be in the front seat, and curiosity is going to be driving the whole freaking chariot. Okay. So set that self-awareness, whatever. And it's okay if despair is bitching. It's okay. Despair is going to bitch. They're going to bitch, piss, moan, whatever the heck it is. Piss cookies are going to be crunchy, whatever the hell it is, okay? So take that into that day, because it's gonna be pretty fucking bad. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be bad. Okay. So I hope I'm in a mood to like get on. I'll try to get on Monday. I'll try. I cannot make any promises. Okay. As much as I love the crystal ball, life is like, you know what? You can't have that for yourself though. And I'm like, oh, fine. I do get nudges, absolutely. But they won't let me see crystal clear, because that changes things. So, we've got 3 minutes left. I was like, I don't know why all of a sudden. Must be grandmother's house thing. Alright. Collective energy. We got the moon in reverse, and then we got the... Your subconscious is going to be attacking your... So that's Apollo, and then Selene. Ta-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. I suppose you can't even read it anyway, because it's backwards. But there it is. How about the energies I just... Ooh. Spicy. Medusa. Right? Get in that curious mode. Get in that alchemy. Get in that like witchery. See what heals. And the Knight of Coins. Zephyros. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Okay? So, but he's going to be moving slow, so don't expect the chariot to move fast, because these Neptune and Saturn are very slow movers. And I think Saturn doesn't go... Saturn's already stationed direct, so you're good there. I think Neptune is about to station direct. And Saturn is in Pisces until, I think, mid-February. So, I'm going to have to deal with the crunchiness for a little while longer. There's the Ten of Swords in reverse, which is Melpomene. I'm not a Greek. Phobos is in reverse, Nine of Swords. There you go. It's in reverse, though. The 10 and the 9 in reverse. Oh. Underneath it, ooh, Helios and Nyx. Jango, the sun and the night. Oh, that's wow. Okay. See, Alchemize, kids. That's lovely. Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm excited for you guys now. Okay. Cool beans. King of Cups in reverse, Five of Swords. Okay, so there might be a little like a feisty mental energy going on. But that's asking you to bring it back to your heart. Get into your heart space. Even if it hurts. You want to take those swords out of your heart space. So just hand over heart, hands over heart. All right. And that's a good way to close out, like when you're doing the energy work too. So when you're sifting through all the junk that people are projecting onto you or forcibly going, that's a good way to close that out. Okay, I'm safe, solid, fantastic in my body. So keep working on that. Keep being diligent about it. Love yourself. Okay, until next time.